I had a very similar experience. Not quite Russian Mafia and ripping off everybody on the train, but it wasn't bad. I lived in France when I was 16. I was an exchange student, but not a real exchange student, because an exchange student has to go through a program and has to be able to speak the language. I didn't speak the language, but I conned my parents into let me, when I was 16 years old, to go live in a boarding house in France outside of Paris, because a cousin of a friend of somebody knew somebody that had a house that I could live in and go to a high school. So I'm like, just like diving with the sharks, I can do this, So I go there, and I don't speak a lick of French. I have a translation book, and I'm just faking it until I make it. And thank you, Bill Nice. But anyhow, I go there, and I go to England to visit a friend of mine from school. She happened to be doing the same thing, but she went to England where they speak English. So I take the train from France to Belgium. I take the ferry across, and I get to London. Go to London, go up to Yorkshire, visit her. Blah blah blah. Okay, long story short. I go to leave London. I get to the train station with my ticket. It's my ticket, my ferry ticket, my ticket home. And the guy says to me, "You're a day late." I said, "How am I a day late?" He goes, "No, you're a day late. And these are non-refundable tickets. So now I've got to pay like $400, $300, whatever it is. This is 1985 to take the train and everything back." So I'm like, forget this. I didn't say forget this. There was another F word in there. I said fire truck. So I jump on the train with no ticket in my bag and just stow away. Make it through there, get to the ferry, stow away on that. Hang out with all these Indian dudes that are smuggling Johnny Walker Red Label in huge suitcases, drinking this. I'm 16. Finally get to the train in Brussels, and that's it. I'm home safe. Now I'm going to do it. So I'm sitting on the train, and these three American dudes come walking up to the bar, and they're trying to talk to the bartender, but they're not using any French. The bartender is completely blowing them off and speaking to other people in French about what idiots these Americans are. So I said to the guy, "Hey, listen, you're not going to get any beers or anything that way. Can I order it for you?" So I ordered the thing. The guy tips me $20. So every time he comes back to the bar, he tips me $20. So at the end of this whole thing, I've probably made $100. See, this is 1985, $100, and you're a kid.
Yeah.
So we get off the train, and I'm walking to get on my train to go to where I live, and these guys go, hey, kid, can you help us find a hotel room? And I said, "Yeah, where do you want?" They said, "What's the best hotel?" I said, "I don't know, the Hilton." So I go to the phone, they order the Hilton. They said, "See if they have suites." I go, "All right, I don't know." Now I'm getting a little like, what is going on? They said, "Yeah, they got a suite. It's $2,500 a night. Okay, we want two of them. Can you get us to the hotel, kid?" And these guys are they're from Chicago. They're pretty, they're gritty. They're not weirdos. At least I don't think so. So anyhow, I take them in a cab, get them there, check them into the hotel, get them upstairs. And the one guy takes off his shirt, and he's got a huge money belt on. I mean, stacks up, hundies like this. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, "Well, we're from Chicago. We just came over to London to buy some Rolls Royces, and we're going to we bought the Rolls Royces, so we thought we'd just come down here and party a little bit and so forth." So I would skip school every day, take the train down to Paris, and tour these guys around Paris. Mind you, I've only been there 6 months. I still don't speak very good French, and tour them around. And they would just pay me and just money. I mean, like, get us some Barneys. Here's some money. So the last day, we're at the train station. I'm getting them tickets. They're going to Rome on the train. And the guy says to me, he says, "Hey, come with us to Rome." His name's Ralphie. "Come with us to Rome." I said, "I can't do that, man. I got to go to school. I live in a family that's going to lose their shit." And I told my parents about this. This is when landlines were undersea and all that kind of stuff. So he says, "No, come on, man." I said, "I don't speak Italian." He says, "Kid, you don't even speak French. You get through everything. You figure out how to make it work. Come on, do this with us." I said, No. So he says, "Okay, well, do me a favor. One last thing before you go. Go exchange this into lira." And he gives me this much money. Okay? So you're 16. How big is your hand to carry this much money? I mean, I don't know how much it was. $30,000? And I have to leave the train station, go down to the subway, across the train station, up into the town, in Paris. It's a good 15-minute walk there, 15-minute back, and 15 minutes, I'm like, what are these guys thinking that I'm not going to take this, But I kind of was starting to get an idea. who they hung out with. I think it was some of your Russian buddies they hung out with. I bring the money back to them. I give them the money. End of story. 30 years later.
Oh.
I get an email. Is this the same kid from France that's on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? And reunited with these guys back in Chicago maybe 5-6 years ago. What do you think of that?
Shit.
Is that a crazy story?